on the tamarind and then we can.
So good night to everyone. You're gonna watch it in the day, but we decided to have an interesting day tonight about tamarind, especially for the day of the conference in the morning.
Yeah.
One of the most interesting herbs that Professor Ather decided
Loves to
eat and to introduce by herself. One of the herbs that we commonly look at as food and even use them as the food, but they have a very big medicinal value. In our work, in our short time of working together with oncology patient, one of the things that I have learned from Professor Ather is to use some food as medicine. And one of the things we implied during oncology treatment, when we have constipation and the patient is not very strong and we cannot use strong herbs, to use the tamarind as a light, moderate laxative, but not only as a laxative, but also as a tonification, and to use it as a very effective remedy. You swallow it? Still chewing it? Okay. So I'm gonna give the stage to Professor Ather. She's the expert.
Every Indian woman is an expert of this tamarind, okay?
Oh, and I forgot. She's not only an expert. Her family is growing tamarind. They have a plantation of tamarind, the best one, which I'm still waiting to eat from. I'm closing my video and stop eating the tamarind so you can...
We have this is the bit which I got 2 years ago from our farm.
Mm-hmm.
I have only so much left. I'm waiting for my mother to send. So I just now had tamarind as we were talking, because I eat a bit of Tamarindus indicus, what you call it as a scientific botanical one, or we call it as Tamar A Hindi. Tamar, the sour, Hindi is from Hind. That is why the name came as Tamarindus indicus, because it is the tamar of India, Tamar of India, Tamar A Hindi. So for me, this was not a spice. This was not a herb. This was not medicine, as long as I traveled to Malaysia in 2007. So when I traveled, my mother made what we call a special dish called puliogre, which is a South Indian dish. Puliogre means that is tamarind rice. And I learned how to make tamarind rice, first from my mother, then next from my schoolmate's grandmother. And I think puliogre is one of the recipe, but I did not know why the importance of puliogre, the importance of use of tamarind, especially for girls. We thought even now in India, when a girl eats tamarind, like now I'm eating, it means she's pregnant. The moment they see her having a tamarind, they make all the stories of her pregnancy and they sprinkle salt on the head. And if she turns right, it's a boy. If she turns left, it's a girl. So when they see a newly married girl is licking the tamarind just like now, but I took tamarind with eucalyptus. That's another quality of it. So that's why I said, let us have tamarind as the herb of the month for hepatology. As my journey with tamarind, as long as I remember, maybe when I was 5 years, and all the girls in India know that, especially South India, we have different types of tamarind. Green tamarind, leaves of tamarind, and tamarind and tamarind and tamarind. So let me share the screen. I quickly made this presentation. Let me do the slideshow and let me do it. I just got this sketch. You know, when you look at tamarind, you have the leaves, you have the flowers, you have the pods, nothing of the tamarind tree is useless. Nothing. Even the shade of the tamarind is supposed to be healthy for a pregnant lady, healthy for women to look beautiful. Why? You know, they make the, if a girl is going to get married, they bring the tamarind leaves and put it in the warm water and give her a bath. One. Second, if it is possible to make the girl sit under the tamarind tree, boil the water under the tamarind tree, and also immerse the charcoal, the burnt wood of tamarind in the water, and then give this bath. Third, the charcoal of the tamarind tree is an excellent exfoliating. Also, the charcoal is rubbed so that she looks brighter and beautiful. But she is not allowed to go under a tamarind tree wearing jasmine flowers. They say in the Indian word, Chudail ka saya, means Chudail is a female ghost and she will attack when you have menstrual cycle. They're not allowed to go when they have menstrual cycle. These are the traditions which I grew up with. But when I traveled, when I moved to Malaysia, when I carried tamarind with me, because this is an excellent anti-emetic. You don't vomit. That's the reason the pregnant ladies take it in their tongue, because they don't vomit when they're licking it. And also, this helps as an excellent diuretic and also anti-constipative. And when they're pregnant, they cannot take purgatives. So this is an excellent one, which I later on knew it. Then my tamarind got it. I thought, oh, this is tamarind. I can buy it anywhere in Malaysia. And I gave whatever the tamarind I had to the others who were there with me, because the food was different from the Indian food. We have rasam, we have different recipes in India. But I was short of tamarind and I said, okay, can we have? But I couldn't go and get it. That was my first experience. The second experience, when I was in South Africa in 2010, when I went to a store to find tamarind, for 10 grams of tamarind pulp or the paste, it was 64 rand. That is the South African currency, which was maybe around $10 at that time. I said, $10 for so much of tamarind, and we just buy it for 1 rupee, 2 rupee, and it's just, and in my house it's so much, you know, we have tamarind. Just when you're hungry, you just squeeze in the tamarind. Why is it? Then, when I went into the lab of South Africa, University of Western Cape, in the Department of Natural Products, they said tamarind is being given as a what do we call, as a recipe, as a saving spice. That was the first time I heard spice. Saving spice for women with liver cancer. And this blew my mind. I asked why. The discussions began. Why? Why do you have to give this as a life-saving drug for liver cancer? First time I heard it contains tartaric acid. And the tartaric acid equalizes the HCG, which is released during pregnancy, or the myomas. It equalizes the HCG, the hormone, human gonadotrophic. So that's why the pregnant ladies love it. They love it. They look beautiful, or whatsoever it is. So now the different forms of tamarind, the different parts of tamarind. For example, you have seeds, you have pods. Tamarind, actually the pulp is the pod, then you have the peel. Nothing is a waste. Nothing is a waste. Why is it? Just look at the protein. It has 12 grams of protein, and look at the energy calories, 94. And look at vitamin A in that, 412. That's the wonderful reason. And then we get iron and the calcium. Look at calcium. We need calcium. There is no cholesterol. So in India, the poor woman is easily available. You cannot buy tomatoes, they are costly. You cannot buy lemon, you cannot buy citron. Tamarind is easily available. So just squeezing A bit of tamarind with water, adding red chili and salt, the meal is done. And all this rasam, sambar. Rasam is like a liquid, watery soup. That is what I tell my neighbors. And every South Indian, every woman, every lady from Bangalore or South Indian starts craving for rasam the third day she's out of home. We need to drink that rasam, the spicy tamarind water. And that's how you can see them. They used to drink rasam. Now you have all kinds of food. So that's how it is. So that's the richness of vitamin A. The leaves, the sticks, the stem, and the green tamarind. And the sprouts. The sprouts have an excellent anti-carcinogenic property. The seeds, when you just soak the seeds, you get the small little sprouts. I love it. I pick up the seeds, I put them. I love to eat those pods. The one, what you see, the one, when you eat it, it just gives a beautiful delicacy. You don't need candies. And this small sprouts, crushing it and making it into a sauce is another tasty thing. But the pods, they are excellent. They regularize the functions of the liver. For example, there is no blockage, there is excessive production of bile salts and bile pigments. Why is that? You can see there are can you just see there are 2 oxygen double bonds and 2 hydroxyl bonds. And then you have 1, 2, 3, 4 double bonds with oxygen. So it reduces oxidative stress. In fact, we use tamarind to clean the utensils of copper when it gets oxidized. Just taking a bit of tamarind with salt and rubbing, we have used it as cleaning the copper utensils. The same way, cleansing of the colon, it cleanses, it oxidizes, it removes the oxidative stress from the body. That's one of the reasons. Pods and the seeds. The shell of the pod, even today, they don't throw it in the village. Keep it as it is. It's an excellent exfoliate. It's an excellent tea. Just boil it and bring it down. Look at your blood sugar, how beautifully it comes under control if you're on the borderline. Then the seeds, roasting the seeds, and then soaking it in water. And then we used to just eat it like the nuts, like the crackers, not Pringles, not something like French fries. We never had French fries. We used to have this, a handful of this roasted, and then salt and red chili on that was superb. And the inside, the white one, is an aphrodisiac. The seeds, the inside the seed of the white one, we don't throw the seeds. We used to collect the seeds. The outside one, the inside one was soaked in water, and the milk, it was ground and made it into a milk. Probably we can have 1 hour, maybe 2 hour session on the recipes, how to make. If I given a chance, even today, I would run to the tamarind farm and I could do all this. So the seeds, inside one, soak it into the water, take it into a glass, grind it, make it into a fine paste, mix honey to it, and giving it to the children is an excellent calcium supplement. If you cannot do it, you can also make a dry powder, fill it up into the empty capsule and take. But even licking at it, it's so tasty that the child will never say no. Then the pulp has 3 portions. The fresh pulp is light brown. The older the tamarind gets is black. So this is black because it's old. When you have the fresh pulp and you take it out, it's brown. That's a ripe pulp. You also have the green pulp. Why do you give it to the pregnant ladies? With mint, it removes all the collected gaseous exudates in the body. Best is the green tamarind, given it to the woman because the temperament is cold and dry. And her liver is cleansing, the colon is cleansing, the spleen is cleansing. The upper foliate, another benefit of this peel of the pod is rubbing on the stretch marks. It gets down the wrinkles. we finished this, instead of throwing, we get something like a raw, rough edge like thing, rub it on the face for the acne, for the getting a glowing skin. So never needed a face mask or something like that. Tamarind with mint, tamarind with ginger, tamarind with cardamom juice. Every day tamarind juice, just before you sleep. I still have it in my mouth here. Sorry, I can't go take it out. You have tamarind sauce, even on the red meat. It reduces the fat absorption in your body. It reduces the toxins. It clears it. This is a recipe which no girl from South India forgets. The green tamarind with the green chilies and the salt, just pounding it and eating it, hiding from the parents and eating it. I don't know, the present generation have forgotten to see it. It's raw and everything is fresh and it smells so good. This increases the follicle stimulating hormone. This helps in clearing the menstrual cycle. This helps in regulating the menstrual cycle. The green chilies trigger the gonadotrophic hormone. Pituitary hormones, the thyroid is regulated. And this sauce or this thing, the paste of tamarind with sugar, honey, or gur, that is molasses or jaggery. Paste prepared and kept it can be on the shelf life for 15 days. It can be used instead of peanut butter. The sort thing, also it can be ground with peanuts or almonds, tamarind, honey, and almonds into a fine paste. Using it every day, it increases the appetite. This is one of the recipes which is like given almost to every pregnant lady. The mung beans, the dal of the mung beans, curry leaves. Then you have the chunk of the green tamarind, green chilies, a bit of ginger, a bit of garlic, onion, and onion rings. Just, I found this, and this is one of the best sauce recipes to give it to any person, any patient who is coming, to give it to any lady, any man who has any kind of fevers or illness, to clear it, to initiate the liver cells. If you don't get mung beans, then you can use walnuts, you can use pine nuts, you can use anything, but you need something to bind it, to make it like a sauce, to eat it with the bread, raw bread. So this is one of the things which I always like. I'm missing the green chilies in this. It is one of a fat burner. It just brings down the fat burning. Not only taking it, also application on the abdomen reduces the fat. But the shell can be made it into a fine powder, mix it with honey and apply it like a pack. And this would really help. Any gynecologist, any doctor, the moment the lady says, I'm pregnant, I feel like vomiting, they just say no prescription is needed, tamarind. And also to burn the fat. The most exfoliating anti-aging therapy is a pulp. So I'm waiting for the tamarind to look more younger and more beautiful. So the pulp of the tamarind, applying to the face, applying to the skin, tightening of the skin. And some of my German friends, we buy the tamarind paste and they use it for breast tightening. That's one of the secret recipes which I advise here. And it's an excellent remedy for cellulitis on the upper arms, on the shoulders, or on the thighs. You can try it if you feel it. So here you have the plants and here you have the tamarind. Now this was a little bit of tamarind, which I thought was better than anything.
Super interesting. And one question. You talk about the green one is the mizaj is cool, but the mature one is warm.
Yeah, it's warm.
It's warm in the first degree. So this is, I think, also very.
It changes the temperament from the green to brown.
Mm-hmm. And then I see that the use of hot chilies, which are warm in temperament, is often to mix with it to cause circulation and burning, basically.
Yes, exactly.
Interesting.
See, these are the cultures. That's what I said. It's a huge culture. This is not a spice for us.
Yeah.
This is something. We have candies. We love to lick this.
When we're talking about traditional preparation with tamarindi, we use it like in syrup or pills or decoction.
Everything.
Everything.
You can use it in syrup. You can use it in decoction. The leaves, the stick, the stem, everything. Nothing of tamarind and nothing of coconut is a waste. Nothing. The seeds, the pods, the saplings. To plant a tamarind tree is like you are putting an investment which you have returns forever. To plant every house, like you buy a plot, the first thing we used to do is plant a tamarind tree or plant a mango tree or plant a coconut. But mostly they used to advise plant a tamarind, plant a coconut. Tamarind is for everything. This is so cheap. This is like 10. I don't even remember that I paid for tamarind in my life. But when I have to pay here 20 euros for 100 grams, it just sucks me out. It's not like I'm not ready to pay 20 euros. It's that the moment I get it in my hand, I don't need to taste, I don't need to smell. The moment I have the tamarind in my hand, I know the quality of it. The waste, the thrown quality comes here. You know, the women, we just need to put a little bit of tamarind sauce, then chili and water, and that. Okay, only in Europe I realized boiling the vegetables and draining the water is vegetable stew. But for us, it was not vegetable stew. We had vegetables, just boil the vegetables, take the vegetables out, and then garnish it with coconut, mustard, cumin, curry leaves, and chilies. That becomes a salad. And the water, you make it into a soup. Here, when I give it to my German neighbors, I said, this is the soup, this is the salad. You know, I need to explain to them, what do you call by a soup? What do you call by a salad?
Yeah, the food culture is so different. It's different perception of dealing with
the same way. In India, when you take blackberries are just on the street here. The berries are just, lavender is just a weed. Dandelion is a weed, right? Aconite is a weed here.
Yeah.
And arginine is a weed. It's not a homeopathic drug. In India, it's a homeopathic drug, which you pay 1,000 times more the price. So lavender is a herb. Oh, lavender, you get it from Germany. The blueberries, blackberries. So I did not get tamarind. This time I tasted the raw blackberries, raspberries. They tasted to me with this. Then when I looked into it, yeah, they had some contents of tartaric acid. So I made the sauce. My son, for 10 years for school, every afternoon he had tamarind rice. Every year, every lunch box he had tamarind rice. My mother makes a tamarind sauce, but she adds nuts, she adds other things. So every day he had tamarind rice. It's a record.
And
it is good.
They
used to steal his box. They used to steal his lunch box. It's not because the whole pregnancy I ate tamarind rice. He loves tamarind rice.
So obviously you have a lot of experience with this tamarind. Do you find the European local people with their constitution the same effect, or would you say we should look differently?
I found it like a magic drug for them. That's why it's a spice for them. That's why they came to the Indus Valley civilization. I told you again, for me, integration of medicine is just not something. It's integration of cultures. It's integration of traditions. For me, I can eat all this, but for them, I just need to give a bit of it. For them, even because they are more with cheese. The European culture is more with cheese, more with milk products. Yeah, more with meat. And the Indus Valley civilization, especially the Southern Indian civilization, we can live without meat for years, for decades, because it's a variety of vegetables. It's a variety of spices. For me, this is not a spice. This is a part of my life. For me, cumin is not a spice. For me, black pepper is not a spice. Green chili is not a spice for me. I can make hundreds of dishes from just tamarind. If somebody asks me, what do you do with this? I can make it. Because that's a part of culture I grew up with. The same way, my German neighbors taught me how to use blackberries, how to make cakes, how to make, for more than that, for me, apple was a luxury fruit. For me, if apple comes home, one piece of apple cut into pieces, 5 pieces for 5 of us, 3 brothers and sisters of us, we used to look at the bigger piece I will get. But here, apple is not a luxury for them. Apple is just on the streets. Even today, when I look at apple on the street, I said, apple is on the street, I pick up. I pick up. Then they laugh at me. They know the types of apples. The first time I was experienced for apples was in Kashmir. I did not know apple had different flavors, only in Kashmir. Now I know different flavors of apple. I know apple can be used with fish, chicken, cake. I don't know what all.
I think this is the beauty in our conference, like we can bring different
Yes,
herbs,
exactly.
different views, and really like the deep understanding of the.
Of course, see, good when I want this conference, I want the mixture of cultures. I want the traditions. See, for example, I can make a scientific paper on this. I can have so many papers, but sharing the experience, how to use it, how to record it. Even if I had time, if I knew something, if I could be healthy enough, I could do it. The next month we have Kesha Torah, that is Amaltas. Okay. So I'm not going to allow anybody. I'm going to make Amaltas syrup. I'm going to make Amaltas, the Kesha Torah. I have it here. I have the pods here.
Actually,
we got the pods.
Yeah, since you taught me about this one and the black marrow, the black bile treatment, it's one of the main herbs I'm using for bone metastasis, and it's working amazing.
It's working amazing. This is, see, when you read Al-Khan and Fildip, it says, Munzij Musile Akhlate Salisa, Tamar Hindi. Why was it called as Tamar Hindi? Because Tamar is sour and Hindi is from Hind. Anubaya Hindi is papaya. I'm not saying about traditions. See, we have traditions, but we have to follow certain documentations. That's where we look into the European thing. Whatever they do, they document. The other day I was talking to Ram and he says, I was there in those stud gardens. We call it as stud gardens. So there was a conference just to harvest the pumpkin they grew. There were 4 people. If there are 3 people, it's a conference in Germany. 3 people is a conference, but 3 people in India is nothing. 3 people in Pakistan is nothing. Dubai, it's nothing. Turkey, it's nothing. But 3 people together is a crowd. They were measuring, and I said, yes, of course, I'm experiencing it. They take me to the river. They carry the thermometer with them to check the temperature of the river before they allow me in the river. We don't need a thermometer in our Asian countries. We put our hand, right? Okay, come. No, they put the thermometer. They look at me and say, no, wait for some time. Water for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, because the water has to move and then the temperature has to come to your body temperature. If the water is cold, now I'll tell you the trick, what they do. They carry a heating stick, something like an electric heater. They put it on the stove. So the water which is coming towards me is not cold. Yeah. See, this is the calculation. That's what is my now challenge when there is a miscommunication, misunderstanding. So this conference series is bridging. I'm for 2022. Sorry, I don't want to stick as a bridge. Probably my presentation after this discussion, we will have my introduction for 5 minutes. I think you'll show. The second one is something which I really want everybody to know. And after this, we decide what we do in October, November, December. Because I don't want anything which is emotionally charging any of us. I want simple traditions like this. I don't want you to give me a publication which is 100 things. I have publications. There are thousands of publications on herbs. Give me local health traditions. My question is, why should a pregnant lady not go to a hepatologist, not go to a cardiologist? In my keynote presentation, the 2 diseases I have taken up, people would have never even heard the names. And why would they need a genetic analysis? Why would you know why would you not say that for some time I did not like tamarind? Now again, you give me, I can take it. My son can take it because we both carry the same genes. One gene which is between us. My son loves tamarind like hell. Now after the T cells from my son, I finished all the tamarind. Seriously, I'm not joking. Somebody is coming from India. I said, Mama, I want tamarind. I literally told her, I literally begged him to bring me raw tamarind leaves. My son loves tamarind. Give him tamarind. I used to buy the tamarind toffees with the sugar for him. 1 kilo tamarind he finished. And today I finished this box. I was like not feeling well. Literally, I can just show you. I have nothing left. Really, I have nothing left. Can you see anything left?
We'll take care of that. Don't worry.
That's okay. But see, this is something what I want people to understand. Why do you like? Why do you dislike? Integration is not bringing cupping, acupuncture. No, no, no. Integration is connection between your eyes, your tongue, your nose, and your ears. What you hear, what you see, what you taste, what you smell should get in here. What you hear, what you see, you hear tamarind, tamarindi. You see tamarindi, it looks so shitty black when it's new person. It looks like shit. When you smell, when you taste, then it gets to your brain. Yeah. So this is integration. People who understand this integration are welcome to be with us. Crazy people like Ram. He calls me in the middle of the night yesterday. Just because he dreamt something about me, he calls me and says, I'm sending you energies. Being a high scientific, sustainable livelihood calls me middle of the night, a direct call on my landline just to hear my voice. I said, what?
The biggest scientist 1,000 years ago used to be the biggest philosopher.
Yeah.
This is the secret eventually.
See, we need, I need people in my team, not with super duper degrees or somebody. I want somebody who has a heart and a soul to heal the people.
Message done. I'm closing the recording and we continue.